Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What is 25 years too old for? Leonardo DiCaprio. Well, mods can lock this one. Question answered. The swing with the leg holes at the park, sad face. My friend did this when he was 17. Got stuck and the fire department had to come to get him out. The best part was because he was a minor, they made him call his dad to come pick him up. This was many years ago, but I like to remind him as much as possible. Teacher here. Told a big first grader multiple times not to get into that swing. Because I could see him eyeing it up. Looked away for 2 seconds and guess who jumped into it? He was lifting himself up by the chains to try to get out and then dropping when his arm strength gave out, wedging himself further into the swing instead. I told him if we couldn't get him out, we'd be calling the fire department. Thank God another teacher was able to help me. He never went near those swings again. For starting a career as a competitive gymnast. I'm 54, but as soon as zero-gravity gymnastics becomes competitive, I'm going for gold. Not cleaning up after yourself. We had a 25-year-old house guest last summer. One night he walks into the living room and goes, "Sorry guys, I clogged the toilet upstairs." We thought it was weird that he brought it to our attention, so we laughed it off and just assumed he took care of it. Nope. We walk upstairs an hour later to find the toilet filled to the brim with shit water. When I confronted him about it, he goes, "Oh, well, where I grew up somebody else would always take care of that for you." I later found out the kid grew up extremely wealthy and would just tell the maids, housekeepers to clean up his shit-clogged toilets. I hope you handed his ass a plunger and told him to get started. Not sorting your own mess in your living space is one thing. Not doing it at somebody else's is plain rude. Screaming, "I'm Dune," when on the toilet. "Come wipe my butt." I have a brother who is 10 years older than me, and I thought his friends were the coolest. Apparently I'd regularly mortify them at about the age of 4 because I would shout that I wanted friend's name to come wipe me. Quote. Too young to die, and too old to eat off the kids' menu. What a stupid age. Oh. Dip sad face. BOORRRTTTLLLEESSSS. Jason, figure it out? That's a new low. Dating minors. Not to be confused with minors. They are some pretty hard-working people. Edit. Many people are questioning what about a minor. At that point you really have to understand that it is up for discussion. To be a minor, they must be very mature for their age and not like the other girls. Margaret Thatcher had a policy to screw minors. So did Jimmy Savile. Mining is hard work, good thing we're dwarves. Rock and stone. 15 years old. Whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police. As a 25-year-old teacher who teaches 14 to 18-year-olds, the sound of that makes me want to throw up. I like to remind my husband that his dad's new wife was 4 when he was born, smiling face with tear. Temper tantrum. Agreed. From now on, strictly professional tantrums only. Working in a corporate environment, I've seen many a professional tantrum. Making mistakes and blaming everyone else. Thus never learning and living in a cycle of bad choices due to lack of self-awareness. Most 25-year-olds are still not quite aware of their choices. Most 25-year-olds still have developing frontal lobes, to be fair. Learning that actions have consequences. You can't just undo things or backpedal your way through life. Regretting them won't help either. Instead of dwelling over the past, one should use that past as fuel for the future. What you once did wrong shouldn't be repeated, and instead, do the right thing instead. Lack of accountability. A banana. Most bananas I get barely last a week. I think that after 25 years, it's time to throw it out. Have you tried freezing it? My mom definitely has 25-year-old bananas in her freezer. She's planning to make banana bread any day now. Not being able to do basic chores yourself and relying on parents, partners to do them for you. I think I read too many AITAs. Too old for drama and fake friends. 25 is when that starts for real. Right? People were just baby manipulators in high school. By 25 they are practiced. I have never seen people act more like high school mean girls than adults in an office setting. Once I got out of places like college and especially high school, I really started valuing my free time, and it became easier to pick out relationships I thought were actually worth it and tend to them. If you still find yourself hanging out with people you hate you once you're no longer required to be in a space with those people, that's on you, with certain exceptions pertaining to abusive relationships, of course. IMO, because it turned into an addiction. I'm gonna say drinking every day, too much partying. Cool it down before it's too late. As a 25-year-old who lives with similar-aged roommates, I notice it's about this age one starts reflecting on that party lifestyle and either addresses it or doesn't. Edit. Everyone thinks I'm only talking about alcohol. I'm talking all substances that change your mind. I personally struggle with weed, although I have been 100% sober this month. I lived with friends, and we didn't stop. They all knew when to quit at about 26 and I didn't. When they quit the daily drinking, we'd still party on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. Sunday because of football, and those were the days I'd just drink more than usual and get blackout. Every other day I was up to a pint of liquor after work with a few beers throughout the afternoon. While playing video games, one of them worked at a liquor store and my brother worked at a beer store, so I got discounted booze too. I'm 27 now and finally sober, but goddamn was it a shitty experience to get here. It took a long time for things to be entertaining while sober.